Welcome to Wealth of Words, where we explore the depths of thought-provoking books that shape our understanding of the world. I'm Richard, your co-host for today.
And I'm Isabella. Together we'll be your guides through today's literary journey.
Today we're delving deep into Admiral William H. McRaven's Make Your Bed. This book, born from a viral commencement speech, reveals how simple actions can have a profound impact on your life.
You know, it's fascinating how McRaven, a retired Navy admiral, connects something as mundane as making your bed to building discipline and resilience. He argues that starting your day with a small victory, like a perfectly made bed, can actually prime your mind for success throughout the day.
So we're not just talking about a tiny room here, right? It's more about the mental shift and setting an intention for the day.
Exactly. He's tapping into the psychology of habit formation, the idea that small wins can create a ripple effect leading to bigger changes in behavior. It's similar to what Charles Duhigg discusses in The Power of Habit about keystone habits.
Keystone habits.
These are small actions that trigger a chain reaction influencing other areas of your life.
So making your bed's like that first domino setting everything else in motion. I like that analogy. But how does McRaven bring this to life? Does he just tell everyone to make their beds and call it a day?
Not at all. He uses his experiences in the incredibly demanding world of SEAL training to illustrate these points. He shares anecdotes about how, even in that high-pressure environment, attention to detail, even in seemingly trivial tasks, was crucial for success and even survival.
Like the story about the capsized raft during Hell Week. For those unfamiliar, Hell Week is a notoriously brutal phase of SEAL training designed to push candidates to their absolute limits.
Yes, that anecdote perfectly highlights the real-world consequences of neglecting small details. The team lost their raft because of improperly secured gear, a seemingly small oversight with a huge impact. McRaven emphasizes that this attention to detail, this how you do anything is how you do everything mentality applies to all areas of life, not just military training.
So it's about bringing that same level of intentionality and focus to every aspect of our lives, whether it's at work, in our relationships, or even in our personal pursuits.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that even the smallest actions can have far-reaching consequences, and that by mastering the fundamentals, we set ourselves up for success in bigger endeavors.
While McRaven advocates for this meticulousness, he doesn't just focus on individual efforts. Teamwork plays a huge role in his philosophy, right?
Absolutely. Sea training heavily emphasizes the idea that you're stronger together, and McRaven believes this translates to any team or group dynamic. He uses the boat crew drills as a prime example. 7 trainees have to paddle these inflatable rafts through rough surf, and it's all about synchronized effort.
And then there's that story about the Munchkin crew, right? They were smaller in stature compared to other SEAL candidates, but they consistently outperformed other teams.
Exactly. They were a group of smaller, less physically imposing candidates, but they consistently outperformed others because of their incredible teamwork and willingness to rotate leadership roles.
So it wasn't just about raw strength or individual talent.
Right? It was about their ability to work together, seamlessly anticipating each other's moves and leveraging their collective strengths. This shows that it's not always about individual strength, but about how effectively you work together, understanding each other's strengths and sharing leadership responsibilities.
Which is a valuable lesson for any team, whether it's in a business setting, a sports team, or even just within a family.
Absolutely. It highlights the importance of communication, collaboration, and mutual support in achieving a common goal.
While teamwork is essential, McRaven also acknowledges that individual resilience is paramount. And he learned this through a truly brutal experience known as the circus.
Imagine endless calisthenics, sleep deprivation, and constant exposure to freezing mud and water. That's what McRaven calls the circus. It was designed to push SEAL trainees beyond their physical and mental limits.
Sounds intense, but there's a method to this madness, right? He's not just torturing these recruits for fun.
Of course not. It's about building resilience. McRaven believes that by intentionally exposing yourself to manageable stress, you build up your tolerance for difficult situations. It's like giving your resilience muscles a workout.
So how do we apply this circus mentality to our everyday lives? We're not all going to be doing calisthenics in the mud.
It's about creating your own personal circus, finding ways to challenge yourself both physically and mentally, pushing your boundaries in a controlled way. It could be as simple as committing to a regular exercise routine that pushes you a little bit further each time, learning a new skill, or even just facing a fear you've been avoiding.
So it's about finding those opportunities for growth and stepping outside of our comfort zones. But I imagine even the toughest SEAL trainees have moments of fear. How does McRaven address that?
He emphasizes that action is the antidote to fear. He recounts his experience with night swims in shark-infested waters during SEAL training. A truly terrifying scenario, McRaven learned that in these situations, stillness attracts danger, while deliberate movement conveys control, both literally in the water and metaphorically in life.
Wow. Those night swims with sharks sound absolutely terrifying. But I can see how the principle of deliberate movement could apply to so many areas of life. Could you elaborate on that?
It's about choosing to confront your fears rather than letting them paralyze you. Of course, this is easier said than done, so McRaven offers a practical approach called fear mapping.
Fear mapping, what is that?
It involves identifying your anxieties, ranking them by intensity, and then systematically tackling them, starting with the smallest ones. It's about breaking down those fears into manageable steps and building momentum as you overcome them.
That makes it seem a lot less daunting than just telling yourself to face your fears. But conquering fear isn't just about willpower, as McRaven also talks about the importance of hope and moral courage, especially when things get tough.
Absolutely. Even in the most challenging situations, McRaven believes it's crucial to hold on to hope. He shares examples of unit traditions that help SEALs cope with trauma and maintain morale even in the face of immense pressure.
Like the ritual of sharing letters from home during those grueling post-rescue missions when they had to process the trauma they'd witnessed.
Yes, those simple acts of connection served as powerful reminders of what they were fighting for, offering a sense of hope in the midst of chaos. These rituals, even small ones, can have a profound impact. They can shift our focus, remind us of what's important, and give us the strength to keep going when things get tough.
It's a powerful reminder that we don't have to face our challenges alone, and that sometimes the smallest acts of connection can be the most meaningful. But McRaven isn't just about resilience and teamwork, he also strongly advocates for integrity. He argues that courage without integrity is simply reckless.
He firmly believes that true leadership isn't just about blind bravery. It's about making choices that align with your moral compass, even when it's difficult. And McRaven doesn't just talk about integrity, he exemplifies it.
Right, like that story where he declined a mission that could have advanced his career because it would have put civilians at risk. That decision took immense courage, the kind that's rooted in a deep sense of ethics.
Exactly. It highlights McRaven's belief that doing the right thing matters more than any short-term gain or recognition, and he offers a practical tool to help us navigate those tricky ethical dilemmas, the pre-mortem ethical audit.
I'm all about practical tools. Can you remind us how that works?
It's a simple but powerful exercise. Before making a major decision, you project yourself a year into the future and imagine looking back on that choice. Then ask yourself 3 questions. Would I be proud to defend this choice publicly? Does it align with my core values? And what would someone I deeply respect, a mentor, perhaps, think about this action?
Those are tough questions, but they force you to confront the potential consequences and really assess whether your actions reflect who you aspire to be. It's a proactive approach to ethical decision-making rather than just reacting in the heat of the moment.
Precisely. Now, shifting gears a bit, remember those terrifying night swims in shark-infested waters McRaven talked about? That experience taught him a crucial lesson about fear. Stillness attracts danger while deliberate movement conveys control. This applies not just to literal sharks, but also to the metaphorical ones we encounter in life.
So instead of freezing up when fear strikes, we should take action even if it's a small step forward. But for many people, taking that first step can be paralyzing.
That's where fear mapping comes in. It's about creating a roadmap to conquering those anxieties. First, identify your fears and anxieties, then rank them by intensity. Finally, create a plan to tackle them one by one, starting with the smaller, more manageable ones.
It's about breaking down those seemingly insurmountable fears into bite-sized pieces. This makes facing them feel less overwhelming. As you conquer those smaller fears, you build confidence and momentum to face the bigger ones.
Exactly. It's a brilliant strategy for chipping away at those fears that hold us back. Now, while McRaven emphasizes personal responsibility and facing your fears head-on, he also acknowledges that we don't have to go it alone. He highlights the vital role of teamwork and shared experiences in fostering resilience.
He talks about those grueling post-rescue missions where SEAL teams had to process the trauma they'd witnessed. Even in those incredibly tough moments, they found strength in each other.
Yes, and they had rituals that helped them cope and maintain morale. Remember the story about sharing letters from loved ones? Those simple acts of connection provided a profound sense of hope and strength even in the darkest of times. It underscores the importance of having a strong support system, especially when navigating challenging situations.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not meant to shoulder our burdens alone, and that even small gestures of connection can make a world of difference.
Absolutely, McRaven encourages us to create those support networks and find practices that ground us and remind us of what's truly important. This could involve journaling, meditation, spending time in nature, or simply reaching out to a trusted friend or mentor. These acts of self-care and connection are vital for building resilience.
And this all circles back to McRaven's emphasis on the power of starting small. It's not about making grand gestures. It's about those small, consistent actions that over time create a ripple effect.
It's that domino effect we discussed earlier. making your bed, paying attention to detail, facing a small fear, reaching out to a friend. These seemingly insignificant actions can trigger a cascade of positive changes. They remind us that we all have the power to make a difference, starting with the choices we make each day.
McRaven challenges us to redefine our understanding of success. It's not just about achieving some grand, far-off goal. It's about showing up each day and doing our best even in the seemingly mundane tasks.
It's about embracing those micro moments and recognizing that true greatness often stems from a series of ordinary actions performed with extraordinary intention. And that's what makes Make Your Bed such a powerful and enduring book.
Absolutely. It's not just a collection of self-help tips. It's a philosophy for living a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
It's a call to action to cultivate those qualities, discipline, integrity, resilience, hope, that empower us to navigate life's complexities and make a positive impact on the world around us.
Make Your Bed reminds us that we all possess the potential for greatness. Not in some abstract, far-off future, but right here, right now, in the choices we make each day. It's a journey made up of countless small steps, each one taken with courage, determination, and a commitment to living a life of purpose. It's been a fascinating journey exploring Make Your Bed, and it's clear that McRaven's message resonates deeply with so many people. As we wrap up our deep dive, I'm curious about it. What's one key takeaway you'll be carrying with you from this book?
Oh, for me, it's the profound reminder that hope is a conscious choice we make even in the darkest of times, and that cultivating meaningful connections with others, whether through shared rituals, acts of kindness, or simply offering a listening ear, can make all the difference in sustaining that hope.
Beautifully said. What really hit home for me is McRaven's emphasis on the power of starting small. It's a powerful antidote to the feeling of overwhelm that so many of us experience in today's fast-paced world.
It's easy to get caught up in the need for grand gestures and overnight transformations. Make Your Bed reminds us that true change often happens gradually, one small step at a time. It's those seemingly insignificant choices made with intention and consistency that ultimately shape our lives.
Exactly. It's not about trying to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just focus on that one small step, that one positive action you can take today, and let that be the catalyst for positive change.
Perhaps it's making your bed with those crisp hospital corners, just like McRaven suggests. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, or taking a few moments to appreciate the small wonders in your everyday life.
It's about recognizing that those small actions, when done with intention and heart, can create a ripple effect, not only in our own lives, but also in the world around us.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Make Your Bed. We hope you've gained some valuable insights that will inspire you to create a life filled with purpose, resilience, and hope.
And if you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to follow Wealth of Words and share your thoughts and takeaways with us on social media. Until next time, keep those pages turning and those minds expanding.